Hello everybody, today is 14th of November 2025. I'm in front of my tablet, Samsung S10 FE Plus. I bought it maybe 1 month ago or 2 months ago. So what's the point here actually? I have all computers off, everything around, so everything what I'm gonna do here is from my mind, exactly from my mind, without any kind of AI, artificial intelligence, or any kind of reference photos. So whatever I do here is from my mind, from my imagination. So I have many apps here. As we can see, I have Krita, I have Sketchbook, Media, Bang, Paint, quite many, Ibis Paint. This is the last one I installed, and High Paint is very similar to Procreate. Let's open up the last one. I haven't discovered this really very much, so let's discover it together, and let's draw something. So cannot connect to the server, so I have no internet connection here, and Wi-Fi I mean. So let's go to my gallery, and here are some examples I started already. I want to go from the beginning, from the scratch. So let's see, what can I press here actually? Plus. And here are the sizes. So let's say HD would be just fine. This is a better quality. This is just 1080p. I think 1080p would be fine. I really like the fact that there are many options here, even 720p. Really many options here. I'm gonna do with 1080p. So we have here what we have, and there are many tools here. Here is probably, no, this is not undo. Here is undo, but also undo probably works with 2 fingers. As I've said, I haven't tried this really. There are many brushes here I can see. There are maybe categories. Here's oil, rough. Let's see, yeah, it's quite interesting oil. And here is the size probably of the brush, which is fine, very handy, I must admit. And here's the color. Let's see how the colors are mixing. Not really. So if I choose another one, it's just simple oily. There is a bit of latency, but it still works very well because this is a complex. Here is opacity, a complex brush. So let's maybe try. Yeah, here is another one, which is a bit different. I had an iPad, so I tried the Procreate, which is really good. But also, those brushes there are, I must say, fine, but not so many. But here it looks like even better. I don't know. But this is probably watercolors, so I'm gonna go back. Although I could go also with the clearing the layer probably. Let's try it out. Here probably delete layer, and here actually how I could clear the layer. I really like these options on the software sometimes, where you can simply clear the whole layer, because sometimes you want to go from the beginning again. So here probably I really don't know. how I could delete layer. Why that doesn't work. This one probably, no. It's kind of frustration because if they do this really professional program, it should be really practical. So I won't go now undo each. It's just really, I prefer just to press a button and delete if I want. Because sometimes you make experiments and you say, okay, let's do a little bit of this and then something else, and then all of a sudden you want to, yeah, good brushes, but don't have dynamic. But otherwise, yeah, it has a little bit, yeah, very good brush, I must say. So you can really paint nicely. And yeah, I don't really say that the digital is not good, although I prefer natural colors, but watercolors or acrylic colors. But yeah, you can do also very nice illustration with the digital and tablets. So if you know how to draw, I wonder. Here are no. This is just the only nib. There are no backup nibs. Or maybe here? No. Kind of. But I like the fact that this button is not so annoying now. You can easily draw. So this is kind of imitation of watercolors, probably. Yeah, watercolor is so. We need kind of blender to blend this. Yeah, this is a kind of blender. So, I mean, when you want to draw, you find the tools, but if you just play around a little bit as I'm doing now, that's also okay. But when you really have idea on what you want to do, but I decided not to experiment anymore. Okay, at the beginning I installed the programs, apps, and I tried a little bit, but actually now these programs are installed, these apps are installed, and now I should actually do a final illustration that could be useful. So I have to think about this a little bit. Not. Okay, this could be a background. And now let's find a pencil or something. This is a stylish brush. Okay, good one. Usually I'm drawing the characters, but I could also do some kind of environment or the art, because this artificial intelligence, I won't talk about this so much, but has now really many options and tools, but still if you just cannot really create the real artwork. And especially I don't like, because when I draw, when I paint, I have my feeling of my own composition, what I want to put in the focus, what I want to put here. Here I have complete control. I want to put this here, I want to put this there. I can still capture this picture and render it with some kind of software AI. But at the end I realize that I just prefer my own art. With no tool, you cannot just do this with any kind of tool. So, although I must say also computers and these digital tools are kind of help of the computer, because this kind of brush is actually not natural, but that's why there could be quite a theory about this, but still I think I have better control. I say, okay, here I want to have horizon line, here I want to have some kind of foreground and midground, background, and I simply draw it. And I want to have here the mountains, whatever, I can simply draw it. Of course, then it takes time to render things, but here's a watercolor pencil. Okay, let me put glasses on, I don't know. Yeah. These glasses are more for the distance, but I think I have two glasses here. One are a little bit stronger and one a little bit for closer drawing. This one is for closer. Yeah, I never thought about this. I can draw also without glasses, no problem, but a little bit this light is stronger and I have a little bit tears in my eyes because of if I drive a car and there is a strong sun, I have kind of problem. I have to put sunglasses on. It's especially right eye is kind of sensitive for the strong light. Yeah. So this is the watercolor pencil. Yeah, I must say, really good one. And now I can immediately choose highlights, so I can decide where light is coming from. So this is a pencil, and it doesn't really go with very strong highlights, but yeah, it goes. It's a watercolor pencil. So for the details, it's just fine. Yeah. There are so many of this we can see here. This one is stronger, even too strong. It doesn't blend really naturally. This is the colored pencil. So if I do like this, I should go a little bit not with so strong. But yeah, I prefer to have kind of yeah. Anyway, so now let's erase this, and let's make this highlights, because when you make highlights, then it is you define form, because in the space the light is really helping defining forms. So we see if we have a form here, here's a highlight, but this is not really proper brush, it's a pencil, so I should find some kind of blending. But again, usually when I start doing this, I don't have idea what could be here, a castle, whatever, and then here is smudge, but this smudge is not really that I want. Are there many kinds of smudge tools? Okay, maybe this one. Oh, that's good. That's good. But this is kind of blurring. I wouldn't really need standard smudging tool. This is again blurring. I don't know why they don't put a standard. This is again kind of... There are so many brushes, unbelievable. Really unbelievable. I haven't seen any app with so many brushes. So let's find proper one. blender. I need kind of blender to blend these colors. No, this is not. Come on. Yeah, this is just the form. Yeah, the form of the brush. This is not kind of style, and it's just this. Yeah, the pattern of the brush. Yeah, but you can still see it's kind of blurry. I need to find blender. Oh, it takes probably really a lot of time to find out all these things. Yeah, it's kind of frustration, because when you have natural pencils and watercolors, you can immediately get the effect really quickly. But here you're dependent on kind of a brush, and each brush is different, and you just cannot really do anything you want. But you can get some kind of interesting, you can see here, for example, effects, and yeah, it's also kind of interesting. I mean, I'm talking about illustration. This one is good for the watercolors style, but it's a pity when you go above here, there is no effect. Just at the edge you can get this. I would really like to get some texture here and inside also, so probably I have to find something else, maybe this one. Yeah, here again. And this could be a blender, but it's really, I have put down opacity, so yeah, then it can work as a blender somehow. Smudge tool. I still have problem with tears in my eyes. Oh, I was not prepared for this strong light, and probably, yeah, there was a reaction of, oh, I have to cut my hair. I mean, there are so many things that are important when you draw, that doesn't disturb you. Okay, I created this blender by myself somehow, but yeah, when you put down opacity, and if you go step by step, layer by layer, you can actually do what you want, but still is not this what I was thinking, to blend nicely really this black color also, so it's kind of yeah. But yeah, as I mentioned before, I don't want to criticize these brushes. They're interesting for sure. And now I have to go to black color. It's very practical and handy, everything. As I mentioned, I can go like this, zoom out very quickly, and I can make a thumbnail, quickly create a foreground, what I want to create with these shapes, and then kind of perspective, and yeah, and I can make very interesting painting or drawing, and exactly what I want. It's not that AI will create something for me, and I have my own vision, and I have my own idea what I want. Of course, AI is interesting because they're so immediately you get instantly those interesting environments, but here I can create my own environment. So I just add some shapes. Let's say here's water, and then later I render shadows and highlights, but here I just, with the color, I can just get idea what could be, and especially if it's small, we see, I can quickly get idea out. Now really, as I mentioned before, really handy would be a kind of blender that would nicely blend this together. But I have no idea. This smudge tool is not really natural, and this is not a good idea. I never use this smudge tool, neither in Photoshop or any kind of other programs, because it's not natural. Okay, could be for photos, maybe blurring, for that for sure would be useful, but I need a blender here, and here is no category. There are all brushes here, and there is no blender. Where is blender? The mechanical pencils, this is all good, this is all very good, but gouache mix. And this one maybe, instead of blend, it's called mix. And this is better. At least something. It's not really perfect, but it is useful. You can resize it, you can put down opacity, and you can blend things a little bit and prepare for the next layer or stage. So at least those artificial digital lines can be repaired. And let's see now, when I zoom in, we can see it's much smoother, everything more natural. I got rid of those digital lines, but it's so I have to remember. You become familiar after some time when you use some software for some time. Okay, instead of Blender, you see there a mix, and you choose that tool and you get the effect. So this is now a little bit better. So now I can afford, when I mix, so I have to remember, mix, acrylic mix. Here's acrylic mix. But yeah, acrylic mix has also a paint. I would like neutral without paint. Well, here is acrylic water. Yeah, this is maybe just a water. So this is kind of blender, and very good one. I like this one. Yeah. Okay, now let's go to the pencil. And it is really fast. So this is the pen. Let's see this pen. Okay, I'm gonna choose the black. I wonder if I press hold longer. Now for 2 fingers not. Or maybe no. I was thinking about the pickup tool, which would be really good actually. Here is an eyedropper. So let's choose the dark black, and now I can try to draw new forms and perspective, layer on layer, kind of, maybe with a pencil. Here's the pen, here's the pencil. Here's the pencil rough. rough pencil. Okay, I like pencil, so it's kind of more natural. And completely dark. So now I have something I can create, again, perspective on the top of this. At least I can see here is kind of water, and I can create in the perspective, of course, the outline of the idea. Again, here could be a building or something, or the forest, and I can create environment like this. And when I have some line art, I can again go to some bigger brushes and create a little bit more shapes with the color. But yeah, I mean, it would be a good idea also to, you can't remember all these brushes, there are so many of them. If you could create your own favorite brushes and then use those, otherwise you just can't remember everything. Maybe it's possible, maybe not. Yeah, here is a custom. Yes, it is. Here you can add to custom here, even online. I don't want that because I don't have internet. So we can see I still draw on very small. So actually, what is advantage of this bigger tablet? Okay, first of all, there is 190 hertz, kilohertz, how it's called. So there is no flickering, and I can easily draw with this. And it's nicely visible on the screen and the camera. Because, okay, for details, a little bit more space, of course it is practical, but because I was drawing usually on smaller thumbnails, painting, I could use also smaller tablet, S3 or even older. But anyway, I'm not sorry about this one, because this one really is a new version and new technology, and everything is new. I see this pencil doesn't have tilt. Or it has? No, it doesn't have. Which is kind of pity, because this tilt is really good. You can quickly shade something. Now you cannot. So this means all these brushes are great, but they don't have this tilt function. Anyway, I mean, you can draw, but you can see I just cannot really quickly move forward. I need kind of, I don't know. I grab the brush and it's not appropriate one, and there's kind of frustration. And then I grab kind of interesting brush. And sometimes I get idea while I'm drawing and painting, and that's why I try to be. You see what I would need now? I would need a pickup tool quickly. Okay, I can pick it there with here a eyedropper, and then immediately, oh yeah, that's good. Immediately it jumps to the brush, which is fine, but yeah. so I don't waste too much time, because sometimes, I mean, this pickup tool is really important because you can recreate, you see, environment. Then I would need to quickly have a button for flipping. Here it's not. Then you have to go somewhere, I don't know where, and yeah, and then you can flip, okay, at least here, okay. So all these things are very important. It's not so hard to go here and choose the pickup tool there. So I'm trying to get something here from this painting at least, but slowly it appears. But, and as I mentioned, I don't want to just experiment as I always do. I want to do something useful, but I don't know, just kind of environment like this, it's kind of, with the artificial intelligence you can get quickly something. So I usually combine Viscom or something, and I just paint something like this, not even so much as I do now, and then I render, and then later I paint a little bit, so I have a feeling I'm creating, but it's rendering quickly and quickly some new ideas. And I think it is more, if I go now with all these details, I think it's not really a good idea. I don't have Wiscom here, I don't have internet, although I could have, but on the computer is much easier, so I just do this on the computer. But here what I could use, now I don't know if it's even worth to save this one. Okay, let's try to save it. What is this? I have no idea where I can save it. What is this here? There is no menu. I would like to save this one, or it is automatically saved. I have no idea. What is this here? Greed. Greed. Where is greed? Reference window. But for comics is good, because at comics you have to draw by yourself everything, and I'm still looking for where I could save this one. Or maybe, what is here? What is here down? Ooh. Something like eraser and pen you can change quickly. Oh, that's okay. But if I go out of the program, I'll probably lose this painting. What is this FX filter? Oh, let's try it out. Yeah, this effect is quite interesting. Grayscale. It's a pity they don't have kind of simplify filter, which would be really useful. And probably it's not so difficult to make it, but this one could be a simplification, but at least kind of outline of the comic. Or maybe this one. I like this one. I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, but there are so many. Here is yeah, this is good. Oh, this is also interesting, smoothing out. So you can create kind of, you see, outline from quickly from something. What is this difference? Oh yeah, this is good. Kind of line art. I like this one. Maybe. Here is inverting. Color. Anyway, yeah, maybe. But I would really like to save this painting. How to save it? So if I go out completely, and if I go back to inside, it is automatically saved. So there, that's good. I must admit that's good, because you don't waste time with saving, and it's automatically saved, and then you can erase whenever you want. Probably you just, let's say, you hold it and grab it. Maybe let's go back here. Maybe I select it and let's find out. No, not edit. I would like to erase it, delete it. Automatically backup for peace of mind. So again, I have no idea how to delete it. Maybe if I drag it out. That's another ridiculous situation here. Okay, plus is good, I know. What is information? Storage. Folder information. Core files. What is this? What is this? Select. Ah, okay, select and delete. That's good. That's okay. So you can quickly delete what you don't want. But you have to be careful here. So done. Kind of should be, yeah, anyway, maybe it is for protection or something, maybe. Okay, it doesn't matter. So like this, I think you can quite quickly, and you can see it opens up the gallery, which is also kind of fine. I don't know why it's loading so slowly here. Now edit. Yeah, now I edit. Yeah, it's kind of, each app has its own methods and so on. What is this? Stabilizer. I don't know. As I mentioned before, if I want to erase this one, I have no idea again. Delete doesn't work. I don't know why. Maybe I should add a new layer, and now when new layer is done I can erase it. Okay, one layer at least should be there. So what I mentioned before is, if I want to draw a comic book, is much more useful for this tablet. Okay, you have to have proper brush. There are many brushes, and for storyboards or even final comics. Okay, and this is first layer. I put opacity down, add a new layer, and choose another brush. Let's find something useful. Yeah, I have no idea which one would be good for comics. Well, this one doesn't have dynamics. Probably this one. Probably. So now I can... I mean, glass, it's very smooth. But yeah, it goes. It works. So maybe this is not the last layer, so I can still feel kind of free. Hello. And I can create a little bit still and feel just free all the time. Not, how to say, nervous about something. And this is again experiment, but not really actually. I can go to the next layer and create quite useful drawing from this. Okay, this could be another layer. So I put down opacity. And the previous one actually I can remove. I mean, like this. And I have new information. And this is kind of deep pen. I would like to have something for comics. What about this one? Yeah, of course I have to go to a new layer. Let's see. Yeah, this one is quite good. I have to resize it a bit. Kind of. Okay, let's see. Because brushes also affect really much the final drawing. Okay. Here is a point that I'm drawing this. I would like to simplify this. I could draw, for example, hand perfectly and so on, but I like to simplify, but it should be proper, so it is nicely readable. But when I'm drawing like this, I would really like to simplify. So now what happened here? See, if we don't start with a good construction, we can have later problems, because now we don't know where the hands are and so on, so it's kind of frustration. And what I'm going to do here is erase, 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 create a new layer, erase this one, and I can start from the fresh one, and maybe create a little bit better construction at the beginning, so we have a proper position of the hands on, and this is construction. It should be really calculated properly, everything, because then it's when we have this outline and see this construction overall that it feels fine, then whatever we do here, details will work out well. But if we don't have good construction, here's a kind of bush in perspective somehow. Here's another. We see I draw perspective just with the ellipse. And now we have construction a little bit better, and I can add, now I can go into details a little bit better, and let's do it just with this one. I zoom as much as I want, and this one is the next one, probably. No, this one, this is this one. Let's add new one. Yeah, this one. Okay, kind of like this, and again we can decide that we want to draw a little bit closer. We don't need to worry so much now because we have good construction. But if we don't want, why this eyedropper appeared? Because of, no, this is ridiculous. Because sometimes it's easier to draw with a bit distance. Still, you can get quicker those lines. You see, what is this ridiculous situation? What happened? I lost my window. I don't know why this line here down should be full screen. It's really annoying because by coincidence you press there. I mean, this is really stupid. See, I still think, I mean, you can do professionally with these tablets, but still I think it's much better to do it on computer. You have better control somehow. Here you have, this is good for sketching and so on, especially because software is not really professional. Everything's fine, but here we can see this line down. This is ridiculous. If I draw and I just drag by coincidence something there, everything goes out. So I just can't really draw professionally. And here it works. A bit bigger brush. Yeah, otherwise it's good feeling and brushes are good. This is still construction layer. Okay, so let's go to another layer, but I'm going to put as much as possible, many information as possible here. So let's change it a bit here. This is still construction, so I can refine a little bit because it will be helpful then later for drawing, but not too much. I just as what is needed. Okay, so now I go to the next layer. This one I can simply hide, and now I have new information. And now let's try to maybe see here what happened. I was just drawing and all of a sudden appeared something. That's stupid. It should be, if you lean your hand on the screen, it shouldn't affect these things. And also screen is so, how to say, smooth. It's should be a little bit like paper. It's too smooth, or how to say in English. So I cannot really. Here again, we see I just don't go really into proper details. But after all, it's illustration, so shouldn't be perfect. And as I mentioned, very simplified. Okay, some details are, but there should be really, we see here, very simplified should be. It's more readable and more appealing, or how to say, in my opinion, because if it's too much information, you just cannot focus, and you don't know where to focus, because there are so many details. See here is a kind of problem, because I didn't define before so well. So in this situation, if we feel that it is still not really well designed, I can go to another layer, but we can see at least I'm getting better with this illustration. So again, I go here, I close this down or even erase it, but if I don't need it, and put this down, plus, and this goes fine. Now I can really zoom if I want to. Now really professionally do this, but you still have to be quite. I mean, you can draw in such a big scale, but you have to be careful still. We see these lines should be as you feel. I mean, you can choose like this, or you can go a little bit zoom out. But yeah, I must say it is possible to do it professionally, which is really good feeling, and that you can use this without paper, because paper is quite expensive if you draw a lot, but here you can get good result also. But we can see it's all about good construction. If you construct properly, and then these details is really doing fun. I mean, it's fun to do these details, and but but if it's not good, then it is all wasting time, because you see here, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do here in such a situation. And yeah, we can see here, I'm doing here everything from imagination, no references, no nothing. But if you want to draw like this, you need a lot of knowledge and a lot of thinking. And also we can see these bushes here. If I was doing these bushes before, it would be good to make it like this, or construction, so these branches are different. And then when you go outline, on the next layer it comes out really nice because you simplified these lines. But you can see if I was drawing this on the paper, this bear would probably look much better. What can I do in such a situation now? If I really don't have any idea, I can put it down and add a new layer and simply animate and make a new construction. A little bit, you can see, a little bit, so nothing is lost. See, so this is now a new construction with maybe better position. I can change or repair proportions and anything. So you can see here overall it looks good. And here if I want to put bushes here, I can, and then I can add these leaves. But here is all about the composition. I want to have simplified composition with the style and this bear in the focus. So we see I created a new layer, that would take really a lot of paper if I was drawing this on paper. So that's why tablet is very handy, because you can just repair. And if you, at the end, if you really like this one, you can then trace it on the paper. You put paper on this and trace it on the paper, and then you can draw on paper, and you are sure that composition is fine. I can try it out also here, flipping horizontally. I can check out if all these positions are good. You can see here a little bit should be more and not really proper, and also here we can see it's not really very good. And then I flip it again, and now let's do another version, and let's try to do it more serious. Still we can see here, okay, I'm gonna try to make more details, not perfectly, but overall. So I'm drawing this lightly. I'm going to try to draw this bear like this. We can see I'm still making construction, but with a little bit more details. Okay, here are going to be fingers already, because I feel here is, so it will help me then here with another layer. So this is the way I'm doing. And we can see here we add some more details. So we'll have much easier work with the next layer, where will be more details even. So we can see here some branches and some leaves, and here a little bit of grass, and here some branches, a little bit more simplified everything, because we don't want to have too many details. So overall there is everything what we need. Here is the hand, here is the your legs, here is the bear, and here is everything what's needed. Zoom in, we can see here a bigger one, but we can see I don't use actually this big one. Mostly I'm drawing on a small one, but anyway, I like this bigger tablet. It's good for details maybe, but when I'm drawing I use smaller size usually. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to close this one and opacity down, put this one and add a new layer, and now we can try to make more details now. Yeah, maybe this one will be final one. We will see how it will come out. You can see I want to keep it as illustration, but I have proper information. This was the point here. I have proper information so it looks good. It was also flipping. I checked with flipping, so we can see I simplified these lines very much because I want to have simple version. If there are too many details, you cannot really focus so well. Some little details can be, but just a bit. See, and this really helped me for better construction. Okay, see here how much better it appeared, everything. Here is still very simple. Because when we color, then there will be shadows, there will be so much more so now after all this, let's try here, all these examples we can see, this is foreshortening here, we actually have this what we wanted, which is a bit more natural and simplified. Also these branches here, we can see these leaves, it is just enough to have a little bit of indication of these leaves, and that's it. And this is according to our composition, very simplified, black and white comic. And now if I decide to, I can go coloring now. We can see I'm happy with it. After so many layers, it took some time. And I can check flipping and it works quite better. Because not still perfect, but I can also check this, but it is better because I had I made this before, but you can see I could make it even better before. But if I decide to have an illustration of this, I can just simply then paint over this. But if I need a line art and if I want to color behind, yeah, then but it's much easier than to go like this. We see I can even do separate fingers. I can refine those things. But here is eraser. I can erase some things if I don't want. And then flip it again. You can see it's even better. And okay, if I want to have a color, I can go here and multiply, but I can also drag it. I don't know if it is possible to drag this down. Probably you can move it down. No, this is merge lay down. No. I would like to move it down. Ah, here you grab it. Okay, this is simple. Now I can color it, okay. Yeah, it takes time really. I'm doing this now maybe for more than 1 hour and nothing especially useful, as you can see, but at least I'm discovering this program and I like it kind of. Layers are easy to manipulate. Now I'm doing very simple illustration. And with flipping horizontally I can check quickly, so I can do how to say, illustration from this. At one point I can merge layers together and then just render and color as I feel. This is one way how I can do it, but other way could be that I would really make perfect line art and then simply color. But overall I must say this program, this app is good. I could become more familiar with it and I could use it for professional, because after all, if we take a look here, okay, there shouldn't be any kind of construction, but it's still quite, if I go into details here, it is quite good. I mean, quite useful. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because I have so many things to do, but maybe I'll come back later and make another live stream. But at least it is something. I was discovering this program called, oh, this is just one layer. Okay, I have to merge all the layers. Let's oh, no, it's kind of different system. It's not like merging. I have to go to the latest one. Let's try now. A kind of strange. Visible. Merge visible should be also. Kind of. Now we'd like to merge all these layers. We see in the computer I can select them all. Now I have to have. I just cannot select all of them at once. Selection layer. I mean, it is. it's really different now. So what I need to do, if I merge this one down, it's fine. And that's okay. And then I have to erase those which are not useful. Anyway, it's okay. So now I have everything on one layer and I can now flip it around. See, this flipping here is annoying because I cannot see the whole drawing. So we can check like this if it's fine, if flipping goes well and it looks on both sides quite okay, then it is good construction. Now, yeah, I mean, if I go here with a pickup tool on brown and then a little bit darker, I can add some shadow here maybe. Okay, let's go out. Let's see here, it's probably saved automatically. So next time we can try high paint, although this program Ibis Paint is still a lot for discovering, but let's go back then in another live stream to high paint and let's try that one. And I have so many interesting apps here. Krita, Rough Animation. Usually I was drawing an Office Suite. It's amazing. I'm gonna just open. For example, I was drawing comic. I don't know which one. Probably this one. You can see actually the whole comic book you can draw here. Although it's different system completely, I'm drawing with another color and then import it into IBIS, and you can remove those other lines with the filter and you just have this black. But it's possible to also draw here, which is great. But on the other hand, I really prefer on the paper, but as I mentioned, if you make experiments and you don't want to waste paper, it's better just to go here and just sketch. But really, I wonder which program is very simple for sketching. Also, Sketchbook Pro is good. Alright.